Yo everybody, and hello, welcome to a brand new video. Now I'm hot at work at the moment to 100% things, especially with Act 7.4 around the corner, and recently 100%ed 7.3.5, and I just thought I'd collect together all the different paths and as well boss takedowns, and just kind of like talk about champions I used. I will probably at the end of the video show just like a little kind of spreadsheet thing of what champions I use for whatever paths or kind of like options. But 7.3.5 I actually enjoyed more than 7.3.4, if that's ever a thing. And what I've done is I've kind of put time codes on the different paths I went on, just out of curiosity, not out of curiosity, but out of kind of like explaining elements. So the first one that we're on, yeah, I had a lot of fun, especially because like using Human Torch, and it was kind of like seemed like the best way to kind of go with it. So this is Bezerker Barrage, and yeah, I just found like using on this particular route, Magneto, Doctor Doom, King Groot, Human Torch. I actually substituted King Groot, I think, to run Double Doom, I want to say, but that's kind of like the what I actually kind of like chose there, because I want to get this 100% as soon as and as quickly as possible, because like I really want to, you know, push to get the rank 4 6-star, and I feel like kind of going into 7.4 being released on the 23rd, which is in just over a week's time, I want to make sure that I do it. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to happen, but I'm working hard to do that. As soon as I get the idea of like how to do the rotations of the fight with Kang, I'm sure I'll have a good time with it. But yeah, like at least to do a completion, but I would like to 100% it sooner rather than later, and then go into 7.4.1 with a good kind of motivation and just like good feeling around that. So yeah, just so I can then kind of write guides and kind of get the grind on that stuff. So that's going to be the hopefully going to see me end of April get a rank 4 6-star champion from working on that. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So Bezerker Barrage has Heal or Hide. It also has Vigorous Assault. So it's just a case of kind of keeping this at bay as much as possible. I think that this was fun. This was a fun little path to do. I'm just like getting my bearings as I kind of go through it. But yeah, getting a chance to go to get hashtag Metal Champions obviously means lots of kind of like smacking down. And I'm not looking at this going, oh, that's a nice amount of shrapnel bleed right there. Look at that shrapnel bleed. That's beautiful, especially because like it just needed to just like hit my block or a little bit of do so I can just be like absolutely obliterated. Like that, 122k right there. Suffocation Path up next. On Suffocation Path, I used Apocalypse, Magneto, Angela, King Groot, and Venom. The reason Venom is used on this particular path is that it's just what is it? There's a particular fight that I'm not kind of a massive fan of on this route. No, it's just because of the buffs. That's it. It's because of the buffs. So on the Suffocation Path, it also has Cosmic Avalanche. Whenever Cosmic attackers activate a special attack, they gain 40% of Fury buff for the duration. And Suffocation, whenever the defender is struck, they gain 100% chance to inflict a Stifle debuff on the attack for 6 seconds, reducing the combat power rate. So you've got to really kind of like rely on your champions for the just to leg up and kind of like doing the hard work. But there's a hashtag Metal on the route, and I'm like, oh, I'll just use I'll use Magneto. Magneto actually was used a lot in 7.3.5. He's an option to take down Warlock. He's an option to take down the Cable at the end. The Cable. But yeah, like that's going to be shown towards the end of that. But this just goes over through all my options. And on that path, I think, yeah, there's a lot of hashtag Metals. So many hashtag Metals. And it's just like, it's so handy to have him. As a lot of people know about the lore between behind my Magneto 6-star, it was pulled by Seaton in 2019 New York Comic Con and duped, I think it was last year, 2021 was duped last year, which I'm really happy about. There's also on the route a Storm Pyramid X, and I'm not a massive fan of Storm Pyramid X, I must admit. So I played this kind of like quite aggressively. I don't like that stifle, honestly, so annoying. But yeah, once that path was done, I think that path annoyed me the most, especially because it's got, I think, an Airwalker. I think that's actually maybe on another path. Polka Dot Power, yeah, love a bit of Polka Dot Power. That was kind of like, again, fun enough to take down. Polka Dot Power, I used White Magneto, double that, because I think it was all about having the passive parry, because debuffs were gonna do something that was just gonna be very frustrating. I used Guillotine 2099, Venom, and Black Widow Deadly Origin. Venom was just taken in as a counter for I think it was Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man, classic Spider-Man, and that was just really it. Black Widow Deadly Origin was doing bits when it comes to like putting in massive amount of damage, but unfortunately due to rotation means I couldn't get off what I needed to. So you know, it's kind of like not playing Magneto House of X properly. That's the best way to deal with it. But you can see Black Widow Deadly Origin right here. All that shock damage. Oh, it's nice. Oh, it's nice. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. It's shocking even. Look at it. Beautiful. Especially when you're going to come back in again and you got the... because if you, as a lot you know, the passive parry, it's only for heroes. And you can just see the damage. The damage extent is nice, especially because I'm riding it with very kind of low health on Black Widow Deadly Origin. I probably made a mistake or something. But yeah, as soon as this SP2 goes in, it's curtains. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's always good to see. Now the tech class path, I don't think it's actually called that, but I'll just kind of like refer to it as that because it's technical suppression in all actuality. But you know, it does exactly what it needs to, and that is whenever a tech attack activates a special attack, they have a 100% chance to heal block the defender for 8 seconds. And there's also some other stuff when it comes to Grudge. While the defender is suffering from a heal block or power lock, the attacker gains 100% combat power rate whenever a heal block or power lock expires. So yeah, that's good. And yeah, just kind of great interaction, especially on the route because it's got aggression regeneration. So you're able to kind of like use your user infection to kind of like deal with the extent of regen that kind of comes the way. So that's just like, Warlock's just great. I'm very fortunate to have a 6-star version and a 5-star version. A rank 3 6-star Warlock and a 565 Warlock. And I think I doubled up on here. Very fortunate with that. I'm also very fortunate with like having 2 versions of Doom. But you can definitely see like it's nice. Especially because like the power control element. Like the champion's now going to start ticking down when it comes to regeneration. I played that very, very aggressively. You can see the power just going away from Ronin right there. But yeah, like it's nice. It's nice to be able to rotate with this. I think this is probably my most fun path. I enjoyed this path the most out of 7.3.5, and this was just great. This was just like the SP1 is fine to keep Ronin 2, but you know, you just got that suppression of regeneration. You can be quite aggressive. You can throw your SP1s. You can keep the champion at bay. Probably could play him like a whole nother way. And yes, Suicide Masteries always help when it comes to damage output, but I'm not choosing to do that just yet. Maybe in the future I will. I keep saying that, but I just don't see any need to switch to them. And as I've said, like Kabam needs to sort out the switching of masteries, like the mastery switch thing that we've talked about for a long time. Kabam just haven't done it, and that's the biggest disappointment. I'm not really a massive fan of Battlegrounds, and could really just prefer having something made for the game that's the masteries. Because it's better for players to be able to switch between mastery sets and have that kind of element of choice, rather than being forced to either be one or the other, and you know, having like problems in AQAW with having to kind of go like one way or the other with it. But hey, ooh, look at this. This is where things get spicy. Paradoxes. Ooh, I don't like paradoxes. Paradox bore me a little bit. And that's just the problem with it. It's like, I mean, it's good. Like, I'm not going to overly kind of like throw shade on paradoxes. I just think they're quite boring at times because they just slow down the pace and rotation that you might want to do with champions. I don't know, Kabam want to spice up content, but it's like, look, you're doing good. 7.2 was good, and 7.3 is just like, and like with the nerf, it's been better. Like I'm going to say that it has been better. With paradoxes since the nerf, so it's 12 as opposed to 9, and that's probably what makes it more better. If paradoxes weren't nerfed down, I probably would have gone like, this is just boring. And it's 7.3 is quite boring, but at least say on this particular route, it's not too bad. Especially because you can have some nice kind of like champion interactions on this particular level. And this particular one is the Paradox Knockdown and Counter Strike. And for that particular path, I used Apocalypse, Archangel, Warlock, Nick Fury, and Cap Infinity War, which you've just seen footage of. And yeah, just like Archangel was just doing so many bits, but you've got to watch out on that knockdown, and that's just the biggest thing as well. Throwing specials and, you know, just kind of like enabling yourself not to knock down the enemy. It's just so important. You can't go wrong with Archangel because it's just easy rotations. Except for you just got to kind of like, yeah, be careful, throw plenty of specials. Just try not to knock down, even though it's really tempting because you're like, oh, well, the champion's kit is all about throwing heavy attacks to the point of getting damage quickly. But it is what it is, it was what it was, and went very, very well. So we've got a little Diablo fight ending right now, and yeah, it's just a case of like watching, knocking down, okay, got Paradox, and just like, I was getting a little bit, I was thinking, oh, should I be aggressive there? You don't really know, should you be aggressive or not? Get away from that. Going in. Big boom. Well, it didn't really seem like some of the damage there. Maybe RNG's kind of didn't favour me, or maybe because I didn't throw in at the right time. That's probably like, I'll blame myself. Go on, blame yourself. But yeah, it's a good little path on here. A lot of fun with certain champions, and no hiccups on this. And that's what you want to see on a Paradox path. No hiccups. I've got 7.3.6 to do like next, and I'm trying to like balance and budget my time because I've only got a week. And I want 100% 7.3.6, but it means that I have to play like the best I've ever played, and I need to kind of like practice on that that Kang fight first. But we'll see what happens. I am optimistic. Final path now, and that is the Power Reserve Paradox. You can see right at the very start things don't go well because you go into, if you've got no Paradox charges, and the enemy is going to be unblockable. Not so great. Okay, so from my perspective, I need to be as not aggressive, but I need to play as better as possible. And this is me playing incredibly cagey because the AI is just like very weird. But I don't really need to do much. And like Captain Marvel movie is already down for the count. Like I just need to do a heavy attack and or an SP1 is like done because of the interaction and the damage you can like do back to Captain Marvel movie is fun as anything. And the same thing continuing on. I think this one, the Paradox Path, Power Reserve, was fun, but there were some fights I just did not enjoy because of the extent of like how quickly you're building those paradoxes to how much you have to control things. And there's some great options on the rotation. Not kind of like say anything bad about them. It's just a case of like you have to be so careful to hit that fourth light attack in order to reduce down those paradoxes. And that's when like it becomes a little bit annoying to kind of focus on these things. But on this path, Doctor Doom, Hyperion, Magic, and Nick Fury were the champions I used. Boss takedowns now, and a Horseman, like an Apocalypse, Horseman synergy. Archangel was the one that I used right here to take down Elsa Bloodstone, which was nice and effective, and pretty nice. After this, I wasn't actually too interested in returning back, and that's because I just couldn't really find a way to kind of get the Horseman just built up each time. It was more easier for me to take on Cable, as you see right here. Like, I made a few mistakes in this particular kind of build up to this. Oh, maybe it was like it wasn't because I was on a Paradox path. Maybe it was like a bad run running up to it. But it's good because the enemy kind of will build regeneration. They'll go unblockable when they get regeneration, and then it's just a case of well, just doing what Doom does best: nullifying, power controlling, smacking in with big damage. Yeah, just all that nice stuff. Smacking in with a big SP2 to finish off, and happy days. That's exactly what you want to see. And then Magneto for Warlock. These are no-brainer things, a lot of fun. And just kind of like waiting for them. Yeah, you do special, and then you just wait till I do my special. First of all, I'm going to build up some prowess. Boom, right there. Very easy building. We're going to do again. Boom, right up to 18, 19. And then boom, again. Well, trying to there. That's timing was a bit off. And again, boom, up to 31. We're going to do it again. We're going to get right up close and tight there. I could have evaded that, but maybe I just kind of was being careful, too overly careful. But it doesn't really matter because we've got the big damage coming in a moment. We've got that cruelty passive that's come up as well, which is very, very helpful. I'm going into this SP. And we're going to finish off with this beautiful amount of damage. And the rest, they say, is history. With a big boom right there. You love to see it. You really do. If anybody is interested, it was a lot of fun. That was 7.3.5. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to end it there because the video's kind of gone on long enough. But yeah, those are the champions I used. And I'll just throw it on screen just quickly. The champions I used, if anybody is interested. And then 7.3.6. I know I'm kind of behind with kind of doing this, but I don't really give a damn because I'll do things on my own terms. But yeah, those are the champions I used on screen. You can pause it right there. But in any case, that has been the video. And I will make sure to see some other content, I don't know, on screen, something like that. And I will see you in the next video, whenever that will be. And bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye for now.